Hi, I'm Sandy Xavier and my friend Aishwarya Rajan. We are biomedical students from Sahadev College of Engineering and Technology. This here with an interview as a part of Biomed 360. Biomed 360 is a campaign dealing with medical equipments by a group of engineering students.
So here we have Mr. Akhil S. Nair, who is currently working as a biomedical engineer at Royal Hospital for Women and Children, to give us an insight about an important medical equipment, ventilator. Let's move on to the video.
I'm Shandy Xavier and my friend Aishwarya Rajan. We are from Group 6 Biomed 360, the medical equipment campaign.
Biomed 360 is an initiative for unleashing biomedical equipment in a way that reaches people by professional collaboration. And our group has started this campaign with a very important critical site medical equipment, ventilator.
Today, we have the special guest who is none other than Akhil S. Nair. He is currently working as a clinical engineer at Royal Hospital, Bahrain, and he has a work experience of about 8 years. We are really glad to welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
So let's move on to the first question. So can you just tell me about your experience in ventilators working as a clinical engineer, especially in this pandemic time?
Actually, I am working with this ventilator for past 8 years. Actually, I am doing technical as well as clinical trials in the hospital field. Especially in this pandemic situation, main concern is about the infections. So for that, we are mainly dealing with the precautions that has to be taken for connecting to a patient, especially to an infected patient. So the very first thing we have to done, we have to give proper training to the end users. Once they have trained, then we can prevent those infection crossover to an extent. So for that, we have to work with the principal company. That is, we have to get their approved cleaning procedures. I think for most of the company, they already released the cleaning procedures and protocol regarding this pandemic situation. And also, obviously, there are many maintenance we have to do when the number of cases increasing and when the working hours of the ventilator increases. So we have to do the routine checking, the routine PPM protocols and procedures, and also the end user training.
Sir, do you face any challenges when working with the ventilator and how did you manage it?
Uh, yeah, Actually, challenges means there is many breakdowns and also many alarms. When the ventilator connecting to a patient, we can face a lot of alarms. If the end user is not much trained with the ventilator, we have to solve the issues. For that, many things we have to done. Sometimes we have to do proper PPM. If we are doing proper preventive maintenance, then we can uh, limit the breakdowns to an extent. So mainly the pneumatics. As you all know, if we are not properly maintaining the pneumatics, it will cause many issues. So for that, we have to periodically change the PM kits, the filters, and other accessories. And also, if some problem with any electrical connections and related things, which also cause many problems. So many challenges we are facing with this ventilator, but if we are doing proper maintenance, we can limit those challenges to an extent.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can you explain the comparison strategy that is taken while choosing a ventilator from the biomedical market? And what are the parameters looked for while buying?
Uh, the comparison strategies, if we are procuring a ventilator, first of all we have to get an input from the end user, and we have to clearly understand, we have to clearly understood what the end user needs. So we have to get the exact specification. For example, the number of modes, what mode they are preferring, and the type of ventilations, whether they need non-invasive ventilation or whether they need only invasive modes only, and also the consumables. When we are procuring a ventilator, we have to mainly check about the consumables. Actually, for some specific modes, they need some specific consumables. Uh, if that consumable is costly, then the treatment cost also get increased. So when we are procuring the ventilator, we have to clearly understood what the end users need, and we have to go according with that. The number of modes, the number of consumables, and also the type of ventilation, and the type of ventilator, which ventilator they are preferring, whether it is a portable ventilator or whether it is an ICU ventilator, or whether it is a neonatal ventilator or whether it is a adult ventilator. Like that we have to know. Then we have to check about the other technical parameters. Is that technical parameters matches with our situations, our environmental conditions and all. Like that we have to get the comparisons and all.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
What are the procedures commonly taken for the procurement of the ventilator?
Yeah, the procurement procedures mainly, first one, we have to get an authorized purchase request from the end user, and in that purchase request they have to clearly mention what is the need of the ventilator and why they are uh, giving the new request. And also we have to clearly check whether there is any other option we can manage with this the new requirement. And and then we need to get the quotation from various vendors, and we have to do the technical comparison. In that technical comparison we have to mention the technical features, and also we have to get the end user input. And it is better to get the verification from the end user input, and then we have to hand over to the finance department, and from the finance department we have to go with our requirement, and then we can do the final negotiation and all.
Okay, let's move on to the next question, sir. All of us have the doubt that what precautions are taken for preventing infections in a ventilator. In case of any infections patients, what are the cleaning protocols taken?
First of all, we have to do the infection prevention protocols. For that we have to clearly uh, train the end users. Not only training the end users, also we have to provide them with the proper consumables, mainly the filters. If it is a serious infection, we have to use that particular filters. For example, servodiogat, like that we have to get approximate filter. And also we have to uh, check the ventilator in a particular period of time, whether it is uh, getting infected or not. For that we have to sap the ventilator and we have to check it in the lab. Then if it is connected to an infected patient, then we have to do the proper autoclaving. for disinfection, whether ETO or formaldehyde or steam sterilization. According to that, we have to do proper sterilization, and then only we have to connect to the next patient.
Thank you, sir. Then, sir, let us know about the maintenance protocol for a ventilator.
Maintenance protocol, actually mainly the maintenance protocol is for the mainly for ppm. In ppm we have to change the whole internal filters, the small o-rings, and after that we need to check the control pcb. Then we have to check the pneumatics, and if if it is an if there is any filter change or if any compressors, we have to do proper oiling and all. And also after that we have to check the flow with a flow analyzer. And also we, if recommended, we have to do the electrical safety also.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, how often training is given to associate staff for a thorough understanding of the ventilator?
That that one is mainly regarding on the hospital policy, and already our biomedical have a policy. In that we have to clearly mention how often we have to train the patient, train the end users. Here we are mainly training the end users in a 3-month period of time. Every 3 months we are training the end users, and also in every 3 months we are conducting a competency. And in that competency we have to analyze whether the end user is competent or not. And in that competency we have to clearly notice the practical section as well as the theoretical section. In that we have to mark them in a range, and if they are above 80%, then we can say that they were competent, or else we have to do more training for the end users. So mostly 3 months period of time we are oftenly training the end users.
So, okay, let's move on to the next question. So, what are all the documentation works to be completed?
Documentation for that ventilator.
Yes, sir.
Actually, documentation in the sense we can do various type of documentation. One for biomedical engineering division, we can mainly do the preventive maintenance checklist we can keep, and then the service reports we have to document. Then yearly we have to do the flow analysis, and we have to keep the flow analysis report as a calibration report. Then if any part replacement is there, we have to clearly notify what part we have replaced and why it is happened. We have to document that. Then for CSSD related documents for every sterilization, we have to register how many times the exhalation valve or other consumables we done the sterilization. And also for the patient, the clinical side, they have to monitor how many patients connected in the ventilator, and if they were infected or not, we have to note. And also here we the every data we are uploading to our pack system. We were connecting the whole ventilator in HSL module, and we are sending the data to the pack system so that we can get the details how often we connected this ventilator to particular patients.
What are all the advices and suggestions you would like to share with Biomed 360 volunteers?
Advices and suggestions, when they are working with a ventilator, they have to clearly know how we are using the machine, and the main thing they have to uh, give a particular training to the end users. And also if they got an opportunity to work with the ventilator, first of all they have to clearly know what are the modes and where these modes are applicable. So we have to work more with clinical side also. So they have, if they got any chance, they have to get some inputs from the clinical side also, mainly from doctors, nurses. If they got an opportunity when the patient is connected to a ventilator, just uh, get the data and details, the patient condition and all from the clinical side staff, and that, and in that way they can get more knowledge about the ventilator. Not only, it's not only a technical part, but also with that clinical side also they have to know. Then only they can do much better in the ventilator.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.